Okay, so back from where we were from our break. Samantha, hostess of the dark, a seductive blonde woman in a snakeskin dress, being followed by her gangly manager and and a bunch of hunched back people in suits who are carrying her props and equipment. The team reacts to the footage.
I've seen her from somewhere, didn't I?
Yeah, something about her's giving me a bad feeling.
It might have been the fact that we saw her surrounded by lightning and snakes. You know, like a baddie.
Blue earns the point for pointing out the obvious. Okay, back to my narrator sheet. Johan's shaking hands tie back his phone. Don't understand. If she's back, only terror will follow with her. You need to come with me. We need to get there. We need to stop her now. She's still weak. We have time.
I mean, sure, lead the way. You're gonna kill us, but lead the way.
I mean, sure, but all she's doing right now is presenting herself.
My opinion's the same as everyone else's about bad television, but surely her show can't be that bad.
Samantha waves to a crowd of Bell Hill residents, happy to have some kind of money get put back into the town. They are just so excited somebody wants to film here again. Oh my God, they are just cheering and a bunch of stuff. Samantha waves to the crowd, princess style, but then, as if she can actually see Johan and our three heroes, she turns to the camera and waves at them. She then turns and whispers something to her manager. The team reacts.
Johan, got any ideas?
I failed to react and thought nothing of it.
So you failed to react and was thus cast aside.
So big bad lady's back. I'm just a kid.
You're gonna point out the obvious?
Point out the obvious.
No, you're more than children now. Much more than kinder. Much more than normal kinder. I swear. I mean, you have the power of the Frankenstein's monster coursing through your veins now. You have the magic of the ancient mummy, and you have all the powers of Lord Dracula himself. She is just some wannabe Elvira acting like she's a giant storm of snakes. Well, let me tell you, kids, she is not a giant storm of snakes. She is just a woman in a stupid dress. The ground then begins to shake as undead hunchback creatures with solitary eyes where their heads should be begin to dig their way out of Ty's lawn and the street in front of his house. Standing outside, there are now 20 standing outside. Most of them have no weapons. A few are holding an axes and 2 are holding clubs. They look outside. The team and Johan look outside of Ty's window.
So we see them out the window. There are 20 Ygors outside. We see them coming out. We're
tearing up your yard and street.
As I'm climbing out the window, I ask my friends, "Hey guys, take care of my mom," as I leap off the building and attempt to fall onto one of the Ygors, which I don't know what they are yet.
All right, heading into danger of your squad. Point.
Wait, is that maximum 5 or?
Yeah, you need a maximum of 5 points. You already at 5?
Yeah.
Okay, then you just head into this. You get a free turn. Then yeah. What's the point there?
Wait, I thought it was would not be taking action also.
I guess that would turn into taking action.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other. So you head to the squad without your teammates. Pink, he's in danger.
Perfect.
I attempt. Wait. You get to decide. Do I actually succeed in falling onto?
Well, yeah, we're about to find out. Yeah, you're about to find out if you succeed.
Got it.
Alright.
Wait, that's it.
Okay.
Alright, how you gonna spend your turn? What you gonna do?
Right.
Bunch of monsters outside. How you gonna handle them?
Mr. Johan, you told us about you're telling us about our powers. Maybe you can guide us through them right now.
Take an action?
Yeah, I take an action and I follow Ty, but I take the stairs.
So, still taking action, you're being sensible. Okay. So once again, Johan can only talk to Maru. It's a little difficult to explain powers. It's more like you feel them as you do. How you activate is you cross arms over chest and say Japanese word Henshin, and you should be powerful.
Oh, I can do that.
Alright. Say it. Say the magic words.
Henshin.
I'm still midair.
No, you guys are still. Yeah, you guys are just like.
I'm still frozen in the air.
So yeah, so it's like this is all happening at once. Yeah, so Ty lands perfectly fine. It's a 2-story building, so like he's stunned because you left yourself vulnerable. So like your light action, you did leave yourself vulnerable, but you're heading out without your squad. Ygor. Okay, you don't jump onto the Ygor, but you also don't hurt yourself. You are stunned because you dropped you did drop 2 stories onto your feet. So you're kind of like kneecaps. Jay comes outside to meet you. In your room, you notice a flash of pink light, and descending from your room perfectly fine in a superhero landing is Maru. Going over the Monster Freak sheet now. With his pink mummy powers. The pink mummy his pink mummy powers. His suit is pink regal, but it's also kind of looks like it's decaying. Like parts of it are torn. Like there's a cool underskirt that certain other characters kind of like Kamen Rider Evol and Kamen Rider X8 has when they're in their full form. They got those like little back skirts. He's got one of that, but it's kind of like mummy. It's kind of like mummy pattern.
Like Mummy's Alive.
Yeah, kind of like Mummy's Alive. He's got like a pink Mummy's. He's like a pink Mummy's Alive Power Ranger suit, and but parts of it are tattered. The pink Mummy's weapons are the flaming Ankh, which allows him to cast, which is a floating Ankh covered in green fire that allows him to cast spells. Red, react.
How'd you do that?
Oh, it's easy. Just brace yourself like this and say the word Henshin. Oh.
So now you can more. So wait. That's a failure. You're on point.
Wait, so you're telling me Henshin has the same properties as Billy Batson saying Shazam?
It does now. You established it. It's transformed. You know, that's all it means. You transform into what?
Okay.
There you go.
Does it have to be Henshin, or can I just say Wakanda forever?
I'm actually going to use a narrative thing here, and I'm going to use my narrator special turn, which as function dictates, the narrator may write a new turn or some for all characters on a note card. I don't have a note card, but I can do it. Basically, I can give you guys a freebie once. You all saw what Maru did. You all, as a team, cross your arms, claws over your faces, and you all say the magic word.
Henshin!
Maru, now back in his pink pharaoh costume. We now see Jay in his blue Frankenstein armor. It's enormous. He's got bulkier armor than the other teams. He's stocky. He's got bolts coming off it. His subtle detail is that it's a subtle detail to his costume is that there's patchwork stitching to it. His weapon is an electric bolt, literally a spear that controls electricity. His finishing move is I Am Alive. Oh, by the way, Maru's finishing move is Scroll of Thoth. That's a spell you can do. We of course have Ty as Red Dracula. Subtle detail to his outfit. It has a awesome cloak similar to the Lupin Rangers. Actually, his costume is just very Lupin Ranger, just Vampire Lupin Ranger, really. Vampire Lupin Red. His main weapon are 2 dual daggers, and his finishing move is Brooding Slash. So now we have our monster freaks ready to defend Bell Hill, or in this particular circumstance, Ty's front lawn and his mom from a bunch of hunchbacked monsters. Alright, so red turn.
Let's take him out, then talk.
Okay, so that's taking action. You left yourself over.
Okay, let's see what I can do with this.
Wait, hold on. We've all used
No, my special turn, which I can only use once, to give you guys a freebie Henshin.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the established. That's what we've done here. So you've wasted no points by Henshin. Okay. You've Henshin with full bars. This is the tutorial Henshin. So you're gonna use your so you decided to attack. You're gonna strike at the heart of the problem.
Yes.
Okay. So you're taking a heavy turn to attack. So strike at the heart use your flaming Ankh to strike at the heart of the problem.
Yes.
Okay, blue turn.
I take action by experimenting with my spear, seeing how strong the electricity is, or whether or not I need to stab with it.
Okay, so you're experimenting while attacking others.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Red takes charge and commands his team, they set off to fight. Pink Pharaoh, using his flaming ankh, strikes at the heart of the problem, using a revealing spell to show that their hunch. There's a little spot on the back of their hunches that, if struck, will completely cause the monster to blow up. So the nape of their neck. You hit the nape of their neck, they blow up. And Blue attacks the back of the cup of their necks, trying to figure out how much electricity he can actually get off of this thing. Turns out it's a lot. So now we start this turn with the Ygors weaknesses revealed, and Blue taking out I'm gonna say 5 of them. So now there are 15 Ygors left. How do you handle?
Noticing the effects that Jay has done, I'm going to use my weapons, attack their napes, and tell everyone, aim for the necks.
Okay. Take an action.
Right. Now that I know where their weaknesses where I'm supposed to hit, I wonder how to use this weapon to use this energy to attack. And the next thing I knew, the arm caught on fire.
Get you like a mobile turret.
I continue attacking, trying to take out as many as possible.
The team goes on the full offensive. Ty, the Red Dracula, successfully cuts down 5 Ygors by striking at the base of their neck. His vampiric speed is just too much for them. While even though he was perplexed by the power of his ankh, Maru, Pink Pharaoh, commands it to fire energy, and it catches on fire and fires plasma bolts at the surrounding Ygors, taking out 2 and pushing back the rest. Blue then takes the opportunity to use his lightning bolt to smack the ground and smite the remaining Ygors. The battle seems over for now.
Who set the Ygors?
Okay, that counts as like who's secretly behind all this. Okay, so hard turn there.
You think our rings could have attracted them?
I go over to check the holes that they crawl out of to make sure there's no more left.
So I'm going to play this scenario in reverse. Blue, being inquisitive, checks out the holes to see if there's any more monsters coming up. Maru wonders if their rings were attracted them. Red Dracula asks, "Who's really behind all this?" And so the Tomb Warden reveals himself. A gangly man clad in ancient conquistador armor, carrying a large tombstone on his back, which uses as like a shield weapon, speaks. "Hello, monster freaks. I had not realized that you have returned. I just simply thought my master wanted me to take out 3 kids. I was happy to oblige, but I'm way more happy to see you guys. I thought you were dead."
What does he look like?
Tomb Warden, he is a skeleton wearing conquistador armor, carrying a large tombstone on his back. He's a living skeleton. He has real eyes though.
And what did he say again?
He is surprised that you guys are still alive. He doesn't know that you're a different monster freak. So you can use that to your advantage. He just thought he was going to be sent to kill 3 kids. He didn't know that so do you want to lie or keep up the ruse? Or do you want to break the ruse or keep the ruse? Because you can totally use this to your advantage.
I'm going to talk smack. I thought they were going to send someone stronger. You look half dead already.
Okay, talk smack, right point.
I need to learn where Ty gets his guts one of these days.
Okay, blue turn.
I remain absolutely calm under pressure, wait the situation out to see if the Tomb Warden's going to attack or not.
The Tomb Warden does not respond well to Ty's insult, and he responds, "Oh, yeah, because I'm a skeleton. I get it. That's real funny. It's also real offensive. Tell you what, how would you guys like to fight a giant Ygor then?" Snaps his fingers, and the ground shakes. A fissure breaks the neighborhood, splitting it in half. Crawling out is a giant Ygor. This one not wearing clothes because they just couldn't make anything that big for him. He, however, lacks anything that would add a perverse imagination because this is technically a kid show. He is a gray-skinned blob of a monster with a giant eye and fierce big claws, which he uses to dig himself around. The team looks up and reacts.
As I put my knives together, they combine into a heavier sword. I comment, "That's cute. You brought support."
Talking smack at the point.
I focused my energy on hoping to at least charge a large attack. As I say to no one in particular. Maybe I was like not insulting people.
So does my electric bolt shoot electricity, or do I have to touch people?
Both.
I construct something dangerous by shooting some lightning or electricity bolts at a transformer box nearby the Ygor.
Okay. Your actions go as follow. Red combines his knives, turning them into a sword. He then attempts to perform the Brooding Slash, which does cut a large gash into the Ygor's leg, but he mostly just kind of goes, ah! Yeah, that's a heavy. If that's your, you were talking smack when you made your move. So that's taking. So technically, you did it well, but that's a +1, and you make the move, but you leave yourself vulnerable. It's a +1, but you leave yourself vulnerable, and you do hurt him. Maru Pink Pharaoh fires a large fire. Uses the Scroll of Thoth to summon the largest blast of energy he can. It strikes the monster in its eye, blinding it. So right now he's holding his hurt leg and he's blind. And
How close am I to the explosion?
how close are you to the explosion of the transformer box? About to get to that. Okay, so the transformer box explosion goes off, and the sound scares the Ygor, toppling it on its back. Tomb Warden then turns, disappointed in his summon, and then looks back at the monster freaks. You know what? You guys he can handle it from here. I've already made myself enough of a clown. He snaps, fading into mist, disappearing himself away. But there is still that giant Ygor who gets back up and is pissed, but crippled and blind. Johan sticks his head out Ty's window and responds, "You guys, you have giant robots to fight him with."
Hearing this, I summon my mech and shout as I point my sword to the sky, "Rise, Gundam!"
Rise, Gundam. That's awesome. Alright.
Okay, I'm amazed as a thought, but I'm pretty sure that's not how to do it. Like, really? Where do we find it?
I ask, where's that function on the ring?
Both of you ask how to summon your mech, and even though that wasn't exactly the right thing to say, Red Dracula does spend his hard turn, and the sky is clouded by a crimson red mechanical bat, the Mega Bat. As it flaps its wings, screeching across the sky, its wings tipped with blades. It flies above Ty's house, waiting for it to either command it to attack or hop in.
As I jump towards my mechanical bat, I tell them, "Follow my lead."
So he said the last gun and it came. So you just gotta feel. So I guess the knowledge there, if you want the mech to come, it does.
Okay.
You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it within you. You gotta feel it in your jellies.
My jellies
You gotta feel it in your jellies.
and my gonads. Passion. Boom.
Yeah, passion and hot bloodedness. That's how you summon your mech.
Hot boiled token reference.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, okay, can I? Okay, passion. Okay, maybe that is how it works. Okay, one robot, please.
My excitement and passion comes from seeing the mech in action, finding out how it works. I also order one mech.
One mech, please. Lightning strikes the earth, and suddenly a gorilla-like Frankenstein monster mech appears. It walks knuckle-dragging. Its name is the Colossal Monster. It also has giant cannons on its back. It holds out its palm, ready to lift Jay inside it. Name of this place? Bell Hill. From the beaches of Bell Hill jumps out a massive Nile crocodile robot, which crawls its way to the town. It opens its jaw, its tongue extending into a ramp and stairs for Maru to ascend. Okay, to Maru to ascend. Ty, already in his mech, engages Ygor.
I'm gonna attempt to attack, pushing my controls forward and say, "Batbot, use wing attack."
Right. Alright, so I get in excitedly. I need to come up with a better catchphrase, but this is so much better than a van. Okay, what can I do with this thing?
I immediately go inside my mech and start messing around with all the controls. Would that be a fail to react effectively? Because I'm just fucking around? Or
Fail to react effectively,
Okay.
yes, because there's a monster going on. Both of you fail You're the only one. It's like Red being the only one to engage the monster. His wings slicing it. His bladed wings slicing into the monster, placing into the Ygor. The Ygor stumbles back and attempts to swipe the bat. It gets close, knocking the bat off its course, but he's still knocking Megabat slightly off course. But Ty, being the expert pilot he is all of a sudden, corrects course and does immediately get back into the fight. The other two, however, sit inside their mechs and figure out the controls instead of fighting the monster at hand.
Have you guys tried feeling your mechs?
Don't worry, I'm getting things figured out.
I've got the cannon controls now.
Okay, the pink Nile crocodile and the blue colossal monster all help Megabat in the fight. What's his face? Colossal monster fires its cannons, knocking Ygor on his back. The Nile crocodile walks up, snaps it on his leg, and begins to do a death roll. That's the action when an alligator grabs something and then spins multiple times in the water trying to drown its enemy. But it's on the ground, spinning really fast, like it's like hammering this thing there. And the Megabat goes in for the kill.
Do you like feet?
Oh, like diving with its claws. Diving with its talons. I like that. Yeah.
I thought we were going to get into some fetish play.
You said I was diving in like.
Good. One more turn left.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. Oh my head! There has to be a better attack than that.
Do my cannons have infinite ammo?
Yeah, it's a power ranger mech, of course.
Okay. I let off another volley.
Wait. It's up to the narrator to fix this problem. All right, so Pink disengages from his attack, backs away. The continued volleys of lightning hit Ygor, and then the final strike of Megabat's talons go into Ygor. The sheer amount of damage, his body chemistry just can't handle it, and he combusts from the cellular level, creating a giant mushroom cloud of fire within the small town. However, the explosion causes no damage because the explosion never causes any damage. But everyone in their mech does turn around and do a real cool pose.
As my bat completes the strike, no one notices our sigil in the background in the form of smoke.
There you go. The Monster Freak sigil is the rest of the background.
Well, that was fun. If it was this exciting, I shouldn't have hesitated to put this on in the first place.
I take my action by getting out of the mech, looking for an instruction manual on the way out.
All right. Blue Frankenstein exits the mech, instruction manual in hand. Pink also exits his mech. Pink and red, they also exit their mechs. I'm just going to give them that action. They exit their mechs to look upon a crowd of people who have been filming the entire fight on their phones. And while, luckily, they did not show up at the point that the fight started. They got there when the giant Ygor is what attracted all of them, so they never saw any of your identities. So the only people who know that you're monster freaks are Ty's mom and Johan. And so after that, so the crowd of people cheer because you took out a monster. That was pretty cool. There's some giant robots in the background. That's pretty cool. Ty's mom stands from the door of her home, mouth agape. Johan walks up to our three heroes, looks at them sullenly, and goes, "I have much to explain." And that is the end of I'm going to call the Bell Hill Saga, Episode 1. We will see Episode 1, or hell, this might be cut into multiple episodes if it's long enough. But that's the end. That's everybody here. And before we end the game, there is a special process that this game has, and that is we're going to go over the game as a team real quick, and we're all going to decide who the MVP was. Like, who amongst you, you cannot count yourself, but who amongst you, me the narrator, Kouta, Declan, or Tyler, playing your characters of Jay, Maru, and Ty respectively. Who do you think did the best? I'm gonna go around to Ty. Who do you think did the best in this game?
I think Declan did. I like the way Declan supported the irrational, rational actions of Tai. He just kind of agreed with it, went with it. He was adventurous, wasn't too concerned about the consequences, and got roped to it anyways.
All right, Kouta, Maru, who do you think is who do you think was the MVP this round?
I think it was Tyler as a tie. His character really loved jumping into action, and he really loved to do things that interest him without really thinking about it.
My vote also goes to Ty for his awesome Gundam summon.
All right, that's and then there's me. I guess that'd be because you picked who'd you pick again? Okay, so Ty picked Declan, and Declan and Kouta picked Ty, and I actually want to give Kouta the MVP because that's just me from my perspective. I want to give Kouta the MVP because he did everything he could to keep the game along. He got out of his comfort zone a lot to make this work, and that's who I want to give MVP to. But still, we got 2 MVPs for Ty, so that means you earn a post-game reward of your choosing. You can be recognized as absolute leader, which means the next game no one can disagree with you, or they have to follow your orders to a T no matter what. Or you can have a suit, or you can get a better suit, a better weapon, or a new mech. That's undeniably better than what you already have. Or you can retire and swap colors with another person. Retire also means you can leave the game. So do you want the next game perk, or do you want a permanent buff? Because if you get a permanent buff, that means you start every game already with a token, with a hard action token.
Okay, so is the buff option strictly for me?
With you begin the game with a token.
Okay, so the next episode is whether or not I get absolute say or buff.
Yeah.
Or retire.
So yeah, what you gonna do?
I'd say new weapon of narrator's choice.
All right, new weapon. All right, so so that means you get the permanent token buff, and that will be taken when we play our next game. That'll take the form of a weapon.
Your choice.
Of my choosing. Cool. All right, that has been Henshin, a Sentai RPG using the Monster Freak module, which we're going to call the Bell Hill Saga. We will see you guys around the Milky Way. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah. Yeah. Before I end anything, do you guys definitely plug where you guys are, work, and what you want to do, and then also send this to me on Twitter so I can, of course, get you put this shit in my.
Like, I literally just do this video. That's it.
Follow if you want to know more about me. Then do this.
Okay.
Well, make sure you talk to the mic. Don't hold it to your chest.
I know.
You can't speak from the heart.
Unless you want to. You can't speak from the heart. Even though you're the Pink Ranger, you cannot speak from the heart. Where can we Kouta, where can we find you?
Where do you find you?
Yeah, I just did this video. Maybe I'll get some things out soon, but don't expect much.
Thank you guys so much for listening. You can find me, Tyler, over on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Mixer at WTPHU.
Of course, this is the Cosmic Rejects channel, and we will see you all around the Milky Way.